We just got breaking news. Orange Orangutan administration has cracked. His team literally tried to beg China not to retaliate, and China freaking ghosted him. So here's what happened. CNN dropped a report saying someone from the Orange Orangutan administration reached out hours before China raised tariff on the US goods to 125%. They told China, "Don't do it, just wait." And they even said President Xi should call the Orange directly. Like, think about that. The Orange Orangutan talks tough in public, but behind the scenes, they were basically trying to de-escalate, to get ahead of it, and China didn't even respond. No calls, no warning, just drop the hammer. And of course, this morning, US officials and all of us woke up to new tariffs. So yeah, Trump flinched and China showed they're not playing his game. This is what happens when you try to act strong, but don't have a real leverage. If you're all bark, no bite, eventually people will stop listening. The shit that he does might work in a business world, but it doesn't work in world politics.
This creator is absolutely right. If you're going to start a trade war, it is a bad idea. I'm just quoting on my last video. It was Ben Shapiro who said it in a much longer way, right? Trade wars are not good. If you start a trade war with someone and you have the outlook of someone like a Donald Trump or even a J.D. Vance, where in their minds, it's not people on equal footing with you, or probably even higher footing than you, that probably has more leverage than you do or we do as a country, right? In your mind, it is the United States is always right, white first, white makes right, and everyone else is a peasant compared to us. But you clearly have never been to China. And the crazy thing about the clip that he showed with JD Vance is the utter disdain Vance had when he said Chinese peasants, right? It was almost like it was a slur. Like, how dare they think that we should be paying for blah, 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 blah. And instead of, again, being an adult and saying, let's go to the negotiation table and let's try to negotiate a better deal for both sides, right? That is called diplomacy. Clearly, he has no sense of diplomacy. He can't. There's no way this man has any good sense of diplomacy, because if he did, he wouldn't have done what he did to the president of Ukraine, right? When he came and he sat down and he spoke to Trump, and everyone, including Trump, were all very rude to that man. Zelensky, they were all very rude to President Zelensky. It's crazy. And part of being president, part of it is being presidential. And part of being presidential is being a diplomat. Knowing diplomacy, knowing how to speak to people, the right ways to get what you want from people without being antagonistic, without being violent, right? Some of the best ways to get people to do what you want is to be on their side with certain things. And then when you want to get what you want, you're against them, right? But it's all within the auspices of respect, right? You respect yourself and your government, and they respect themselves and their government, and everybody finds a good medium, a good middle place, where everyone can come to the table and talk about their needs and get, probably not everything you want, but get a lot of what you want in the deals, right? That's why I treat it as a sign.